From Hollywood. Welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
Thank God it's Friday!
And leave no doubt that today we are here to put a cap in the ass of what has been another outrageous week here in the United States of America. My God, there's never a dull frickin' moment here, is there? Now the big question is, who's ready to go on another action-packed adventure?
Let's do it.
Here's what's on tap on the Wrap. U-Hauls are becoming very scarce in New York City. Democrats are finally telling the truth, but then again, maybe not. We'll discuss when sexy really isn't sexy at all. Is Kamala Harris about to scare us? Stand by for news. And I had an epiphany watching the movie Animal House that will explain today's political culture I'll tell you about. You're going to be amazed. Another round of head trauma is on the way. The always popular Total Recall is coming up. Plus, our usual lunacy and loose behavior, including the Friday Mo-Fucking Funny. That's what's up today on the Rat's Ass Podcast for Friday, August 1st. 7 down, 5 to go in 2025. Hey, I do appreciate the drop-in, too. This weekend on Rat's Ass Rock TV, we're starting our Best Of series. Every weekend, we're going to feature a well-known band and post their top 10 rock videos. This weekend, get ready to rock. It's AC/DC. Doesn't mean we're going A to Z either. It's just starting with AC/DC. Next weekend, it could be ZZ Top, but then again, maybe not. It might be Led Zeppelin. Ooh, you'll have to tune in and find out. You can connect, though, at ratsasspodcast.com. That's your hub for everything. 44 years ago today, MTV launched. The song was The Buggles' Video Killed the Radio Star. They thought that MTV was going to kill radio, which ruled the world at the time. And they didn't. MTV died, and radio went on to rule the world for many years after MTV stopped playing music videos. But a shout out to Martha Quinn. She was my favorite MTV VJ back in the day. Here's a good story I'll share with you. Mark Goodman, he was one of the original VJs. Back in 2004, we were negotiating to do a syndicated 80s show that didn't really come to be because the dollars didn't add up, meaning the deal was good for him and not for us. But overall, Mark was a good dude. 72 years old now. Martha's 66. And Nina Blackwood. Oh, Nina Blackwood. She was the unattainable one. I always liked Martha because she always felt like she was attainable. But Nina is now 69. Alan Hunter, 68. J.J. Jackson, he died tragically in 2004 at the age of 62. He'd be 83 today. And Kurt Loder, who did the MTV Music News, he is 80 today. So, my God, I feel so damn old right now talking about the MTV. All right, Fleabag just handed me this. This better be good, Fleabag. You know, you're interrupting my flow here. All right. I don't know why I have to straighten up when I read something. It's weird, isn't it? Says here, Coors Beer is releasing a new deodorant. Yeah, I knew about this, Fleabag. This isn't new to me, but it says it's for men and women who... Thanks, Fleabag. He wrote it's for men and women who want to be men. God, yeah, it's called Durachill, if I remember correctly, right? Obviously for the arm farter and your family. All right, let's get into the Wrap. Just got a call from a friend yesterday. His name's Jeremy, lives in New York City, and he had a small sandwich and pizza shop for about 11 years there. And I say had because he let me know that he was able to sell his business at a 10% loss, unfortunately, but he sold his condo for $75,000 more than he paid for it. And he loved this condo. He's only had it about a year and a half. Worked his ass off because he always wanted to live in New York City and live in a high-rise condo. And he accomplished that goal. So why did he do this? Because of the threat that a communist socialist Muslim named Zohran Mamdani is more than likely to become mayor of New York City in a few months. Now, quoting him, Jeremy said, "I wanted to get the hell out before the shit hit the fan." And he's moving to Arlington, Texas. And I asked him, why Texas, man? Why Texas? Because he always told me if I leave New York, it would be to come to California. And he said, I will never live again where Democratic leadership has hold of a state or a city. Never. When you think about it, you can look up any Democratic-run city in America, and it's probably a shithole because it's led by a Democrat. I'm just convinced there's a certain portion of Americans who love to live in filth and stink and chaos. I just think that's the way we live. That's the world. Now, the biggest challenge he's having now, though, is finding a frickin' U-Haul. He said he's probably going to end up having to load up his SUV and just sell off everything else. and he's going to go in mid-40s, I would say. Jeremy's probably mid-40s, but he's got to go start his life over in Texas because he fears that he would lose everything he's ever worked for, including the price on his condo crashing, if New York actually does elect Mamdani. It's sad, but he said there's a lot of people who just can't wait to get the hell out right now. And that's what's going to happen. You're going to find the fire department, the police department, they're all going to quit. It's just going to be mass hysteria in New York City. It's going to be worse than dogs and cats living together. All right, the Democrats' approval rating is at an all-time low and appears they're ready to start telling the truth. Listen to what Democratic Party leader Hakeem Dime-Store Obama Jeffries had to say. Check this out.
Republicans just want sexy white girls with perfectly round titties in their ads. We're here to say no to that. Democrats are the party of ugly-ass people. And we want representation, maybe some non-binary Latino midgets, maybe a couple of fat shamikas eating fried chicken and fighting at a Carnival cruise or a Waffle House, or some shit like that. Just any ugly people. If they're too ugly to go outside, that's our people.
Oh, I'm going to cry laughing so damn hard. Now, obviously, that's an AI-produced bit. While it's the truth, Jeffries didn't say it, but he would lie about it. Now, how scary is AI, though? I mean, how scary is AI? That sounded like Hakeem Jeffries, but it was AI. Now, I read yesterday where AI is going to slay about 450 million jobs worldwide over the next 10 years. That's 45 million jobs a year. If you're a white-collar worker right now, you got to be scared shitless. You really do. Because the sooner you can learn a blue-collar trade, I would say, the better for you. Be thinking about it. And I would tell you to go look up Mike Rowe. Mike Rowe, R-O-W-E. Just Google it and hit blue-collar jobs, because that's what's going to take over all over the world, thanks to AI. Now, the outrage over Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle ad just won't stop. It just will not stop. Everybody's developed an opinion on this one, and I'm no different. But between her American Eagle ad and the beatdown of two white people in Cincinnati by a swarm of black people has actually put a spotlight on white envy in America. It certainly has. Now, conservative political commentator Tommy Lauren summed it up best. Listen to what she had to say.
Let's just be honest. The hatred of white people has been so normalized and mainstreamed in this country. There are countless examples from this week alone. I mean, you've got that brawl in Cincinnati, two white people beaten nearly to death, a woman bleeding out of her nose and mouth, completely dismissed, doesn't matter. Okay, we don't know the whole story. Looked pretty complete to me. Then you've got the ongoing hatred, of course, of Caitlin Clark. Why? Because she's better at basketball, also white. And then, of course, you've got Sydney Sweeney. She's not allowed to be a hot girl wearing jeans for American Eagle, because if she says she has good genes, that means it's promoting Nazism or eugenics. All of this is utterly ridiculous. But you know what's even more ridiculous? This white hate charge has been led almost exclusively by white liberals, and in particular, white liberal women. And especially in the case of Sydney Sweeney, if you look at the white liberal women that are so mad about it, they happen to be mediocre to unattractive. There's nobody that hates a white hot girl more than a mediocre or ugly white liberal girl.
Tell me Tommy's not telling the truth.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. But tell me she's not telling the truth there. Tell me she's not. Nicole Arbor is somebody who I pulled a post from, a couple of posts, by the way, that I thought were spot on. Nicole said, I love the Sydney Sweeney American ad. Normal hot girls are back. Well, that remains to be seen. But right now, Sydney's back. She said it's not porn, not trans, not gay, not obese to make a point, not wearing a headscarf to be inclusive, not political. Just a hot girl in jeans. That's what it was, a hot girl in jeans. That's it. It's simple as that. There was no political agenda here. We know who politicizes everything. It's cancel culture. They're bored, they dig up something, go, here's one. They get on the pipeline, probably on Zoom, and get their little heads together and say, this is how we're going to attack. This is what happens. Now, Right Angle News said, it's hilarious that the only people who hate this ad for American Eagle jeans are the ones who can't fit in Sydney's jeans. Now, you might be wondering how Sydney's ad has impacted sales for American Eagle. Well, guess who comes up with all the information for you? It's me. It's me. All right, here's pop culture reporter April Silverman.
From Fat Positivity and Dylan Mulvaney. Yes, one American Eagle ad just became a cultural reset. Remember 2019? American Eagle launched jeans inclusive in size 24. That wasn't empowerment. That was promoting obesity. Those ads were peak woke, obese, body positivity influencers, trans activists front and center, messaging that mocked masculinity and real beauty. But guess what happened this week? American Eagle market shares jumped 10%. That's $200 million in market cap added, all after launching one campaign with Sydney Sweeney. A real woman, feminine, attractive, not a DEI marketing experiment, just someone people actually want to see. Sydney's campaign proves beauty sells, reality resonates, wokery is gasping for breath, and brands are finally catching on. Take notes, Jaguar. You laid off 500 managers after your sales dropped 97% in Europe. Your woke rebrand flopped. Try selling cars, not hashtags and virtue signals. Nike, same story. They bet on body positivity and clout chasing mobs. Didn't work. And when riots hit, Nike is always one of the first stores looted. Now even they are quietly pivoting back to family values. Why? Because mobs don't buy sneakers. Families do. So here's the lesson. Go woke, go broke, go based, go viral. Sydney Sweeney just reminded every brand what actually works.
April Silverman. God, there's something about a hot, sexy lady with an opinion, isn't it? Love it. All right, here's the deal, though, about Sydney Sweeney. She has a rockin' bod. She has big boobs, tight ass. Every American male, regardless of race, wants to get in them jeans. But from my point of view, Sydney's a bit of a butterface. On a scale of 10, I'd rate her as a 7. Yeah, you're gasping, aren't you? What? You don't think Sydney is a 10? No, I do not. You know, single men will tell you that they live on 7s and 8s, and 9 and 10s are what they have for dessert. And quite frankly, it's the 1s through 6s that hate 7s and 8s more than the 9s and 10s. Secretly, they admire the 9s and 10s. They want to be like them. But they take out their hate on the 6s and 7s like Sydney. And the reason for this is they've lost more men to 7s and 8s than they have the 9s and 10s like Sweeney for decades. So here's a little message, though, for our white liberal women today, which seems to be a theme of this podcast. We're not listening to you anymore. Put the fork down. Go join a gym. Find a good hairstylist. Remove the bone from your nose. The tattoos, well, they're permanent. You'll have to live with those. Otherwise, just shut the hell up. Because we're coming for you. Those people that are tired of cancel culture, it's coming back at you with a big blow. Are you ready? Can you take the pain? Can you take the pressure? We're going to find out. Is Kamala Harris about to scare us? Yeah, in case you forgot, Harris is who lost to Donald Trump in the 2024 election. She's been kind of hiding for the last few months. Now, she says it's because she's writing a book. She's writing a book. She wasn't out getting bombed every night like a lot of people thought. But the book is called 107 Days. Now, I'm not sure if that's about her presidential campaign or how long she spent in rehab, but we'll find out apparently soon. The point is, she's apparently going to spill the beans on the Democratic Party. We'll see. She's going to throw some teasers out there to get you interested in buying the book. Now, I went to Barnes & Noble's yesterday, and they have a sign on the book bargain table that said, reserved for Kamala Harris's 107 Days. So maybe that's an indication of what they're expecting from this book. You know, but I do have some good news and some bad news for you. The good news is, for us, at least in California, Kamala Harris is not running for governor of California next year. Can I get some applause for that, man? That just needed more ambiance. There we go. Thank you. Yeah. That wind you felt across America yesterday was 40 million Californians exhaling, not exhaling. All right, the bad news is, though, our damn book is going to be released on my birthday next month. That's all anybody's going to be talking about on my special day. Kamala Harris's book, 107 Days. And by the way, if you want to send me a gift for my birthday next month, you can start sending them anytime you want to 1313 Mockingbird Lane, Hollywood, California, 90028. All right, got it? Good. As you're well aware, I am a huge fan of the movie Animal House. Every year on the 28th of July, the anniversary, I pull it out of the cabinet, sit down, wrap up in a toga, grab a brew, because it didn't cost anything. Well, it did, but I play that game in my mind. And I watched the film. So watching it this week, it occurred to me that this film demonstrates how Democrats and Republicans have changed roles over the years. Now think about it this way. If you've seen the movie, you'll get it. If not, go watch the movie. Netflix. And you'll see that this is true. Think about it this way. Faber College is the government. In 1978, the Omegas were the Republicans, and the Deltas were the Democrats. Now, as I've told you before, I grew up in a Democratic family, and I grew up next to a college frat house. That's why this movie takes me back to my childhood. That's why I love it so much. I've pretty much called it my life mission to live the life of Animal House. But today, the Omegas are the Democrats, and the Deltas are the Republicans, or in my case, a Libertarian. Another example is Bill Maher. He was a staunch liberal back in the day. Party boy. Loved pot. Didn't believe in God. Definitely a Delta frat boy type, right? Well, he didn't change. The damn Democratic Party left him. And he went Omega. That's right. He went Omega. Now, at the core of Bill is definitely a Delta House member, just like me. It's just taken him a while to catch up. That's all. But you do see the similarities, don't you, of how Animal House in 1978 has changed to 2025, how the Omegas and the Deltas have kind of changed roles here. Brilliant! I thought so too.
He played football without a helmet, which explains a lot.
It sure enough does.
Here is Mojo Elliott with Rat Sports.
All right, the Los Angeles Chargers beat the living crap out of the Detroit Lions 34-7 in the Hall of Fame game to open the NFL season last night. But, don't read too much into it. Like I've said, most of the players who played last night will be bagging groceries in a month. The baseball trade deadline has passed, and there was a lot to do about nothing. There were no really big earth-shattering deals that happened that would put any team over the top. It was the Twins and the Nationals basically being the biggest seller, saying, we're not paying these guys anymore. We're not getting anywhere with them. Get rid of them. The Astros getting Carlos Correa back, probably the biggest name and the biggest surprise of free agency. My Cincinnati Reds needed a left-handed power-hitting right fielder who could hit for average and play every day. Well, they didn't get him. What they did get was the best defensive third baseman in baseball, Ke'Bryan Hayes from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, he played last night, and the first ball hit to him, he missed it. Opened the door for an 8-run Atlanta inning. Oh, it was hideous. And it's just, that's just par for the course, man. That is Murphy's Law to a T. Now, prior to the game, because fans were like going, why did we need this guy? Well, of course, the announcers who sell Cincinnati Reds baseball, they were selling us hard on the fact that here's why it makes sense to make this deal. Defense can win games just as much as offense will. That was their selling point. Now, I love the Reds broadcasting team, but I have one criticism of them. And I get you got to sell Reds baseball, but you spend way too much time telling us what we should see as opposed to backing up what we do see, guys. I get that you're salesman for Reds baseball, but it's phony, and I wish you would just cut the bullshit, man. Just stop it. All right, that's sports on the Wrap.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, the game today is Total Recall. I'm going to give you 4 historical events from the 90s. I'm going to narrow it down for you, and you have to put them in the order they happened first to last. All right, Forrest Gump wins the Oscar for Best Film. The Green Bay Packers beat the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 31. Bill Clinton is impeached for lying to a grand jury regarding his affair with Monica Lewinsky. And O.J. Simpson is arrested for the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman. You want to run through it again? Sure. Forrest Gump wins the Oscar for Best Film. The Green Bay Packers beat the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 31. Bill Clinton is impeached for lying to a grand jury regarding his affair with Monica Lewinsky. And O.J. Simpson is arrested for the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. All right, put those in the order they happened first to last. Take a while, think about it, and I'll have the answer for you coming up on the podcast.
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
Oh, yes, indeedy it is. Finally Friday. And that means it's time for the Friday Mo Fucking Funny. Never at a loss for words or his opinion and clearly dropped on his head as a baby, this is Bill Burr.
I gotta tell you, the way white women somehow hijack the woke movement, generals around the world should be analyzing this. The woke movement was supposed to be about people of color, and it was about that for about 8 seconds. And then somehow, white women swung their Gucci-booted feet over the fence of oppression and stuck themselves at the front of the line. My name is her, with my SUV and my heated seats. You have no idea what it's like to be me. Trash and white guys, the nerve. Where's the camera? The nerve of you white women. You guys stood by us toxic white males through centuries of our crimes against humanity, and occasionally when you wanted to sneak off and hook up with a black dude, if you got caught, you said it wasn't consensual. Yeah, that's what you did. So why don't you shut up, sit down next to me, and take your talking to?
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
All right, pop singer Lizzo, who recently lost a bunch of weight, but nobody can tell, jokingly posted a photo of herself dressed in jeans, posing like Sydney Sweeney in the American Eagle ad. Now, you got to appreciate Lizzo's sense of humor because it demonstrates how we used to fraternize before it became popular to demonize, which is okay to do, by the way. And I think Megyn Kelly said it best when she said it this way about free speech.
People today, they actually think hate speech is unconstitutional. Okay, it's not. Just for those of you playing at home, it's not. Hate speech is not unconstitutional. It may be offensive, but welcome to America. We're allowed to offend here. Right? So,
Can you say that one more time? I just want to be sure everybody heard what you just said.
welcome to America. We're allowed to offend here. There's nothing more American than getting up there and saying the thing because you genuinely feel it, or just to remind people that's the beauty of being born here. There are places all over the world that would kill for that right. They would kill for that right. And people are trying to erode it right now in this country. It's the bedrock of who we are. And so if we don't fight for it, we will lose it.
Yeah, Megyn Kelly, another hot lady with an opinion. Have you noticed today? All the hot, sexy women with the opinions on the Rat's Ass podcast, because I like it. I like that. And they all come from the right, too. Because it is okay to demonize an American, have that hate speech. We certainly do some of that here on the Rat's Ass podcast. That's why it's called the Rat's Ass podcast, because we don't give a rat's ass. But, I would say I'd like to have a little more Lizzo in our life and a little less of the white liberal women. All right, the rumors of a love affair between singer Katy Perry and ex-Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has legs. Now, apparently Trudeau showed up at a Katy Perry concert where he danced. I didn't see it. I wish I could have witnessed that. But he danced and sang, knew all the words to every single song. Now, white guy goes to a concert and knows the words to every damn song. So there's something off about this guy. All we're waiting for now is that the news is that he has closed the deal, meaning that he has porked their brains out. Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson are promoting their movie Naked Gun, but they have confirmed that they are indeed banging. And apparently Liam, who keeps showing up for these pressers, apparently is using the board Tommy Lee sent him, so he isn't falling in. Ozzy Osbourne has been laid to rest in his hometown of Birmingham, England. The streets were lined with fans. It was just for miles. It was a beautiful thing to see. The ceremony was private before he was laid to rest. His former Black Sabbath bandmates were there, along with Ozzy's family, of course. Other members from Rock Nation, including Zakk Wylde, his guitarist from his solo days, James Hetfield from Metallica. Marilyn Manson was there, Corey Taylor from Slipknot. They were all attendees of the funeral. In fact, as just seeing some of the pictures, it was very touching. And I want to read something Ozzy said once upon a time, and it reigns so true, and I hope it stays with you. He said that if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. You've got to be your own biggest fan, even when your own worst enemy. Truer words have never been spoken from Oz, okay? Hope those words stay with you. And by the way, today, seriously, who gives a rat's ass that Britney Spears has been single for 163 days?
Rat's Ass Podcast. Email from our Gmail.
All right, as you know, I do not read your emails in advance. My producer, Fleabag, forwards me your name, where you're from, and rewrites them so I can read them rapid fire and on the fly, and no topic is off the table. It is impossible to offend me, too, by the way. Ronnie K., Lisbon, Ohio, said, "Did you really have 99 unpaid parking tickets?" Well, I might have embellished just a little bit to give the story a little bit more life, but no, I only had one unpaid parking ticket that I had to do. But yes, for the sake of the show, sometimes I embellish. Jimmy Z from Ketchikan, Alaska said, dude, I read the 10 things that make your rod bigger on your blog. I've been eating that stuff for 10 years, and my entire life, I've only been about 3 inches hard. Jimmy. Well, first of all, I'd like to have a moment of silence for Jimmy's Jimmy. Thank you. You know what, Jimmy? Nothing's ever foolproof. Nothing at all. But I have a feeling living in Alaska where it's colder than a witch's tit in a brass overcoat might have something to do with it. But if you want to check out the 10 foods that make your rod get bigger, go to ratsasspodcast.com, scroll down to the Battle of the Sexes section. All right, Denise B., Fremont, Nebraska. I'm a liberal white woman who listens and loves your podcast. But I have to tell you that you are an American first white nationalist. Denise, first of all, thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Glad you enjoyed the show. And I do agree that I am an America first nationalist. I admit it. I was born here. I was raised in America. Why wouldn't I put my country first? In fact, I think it's nuts not to, regardless of what country you're from. If you're from Ireland, you put Ireland first. If you're from Germany, you put Germany first. If you're from London, England, you put England first. It's the normal thing to do, in my opinion. Okay? It's okay to put America first. Because when America is on the top of its game, this is what I want you to remember. When America is at the top of its game, we are a better friend to other nations. So think about that. Taylor C., Arlington, Virginia. I had a one-night stand 2 months ago with a girl I used to work with, and now she's telling me she's pregnant, and I'm the dad. Problem is, I know 3 other guys at work who have sacked her too. What is my next move here? Simple, Taylor, DNA test. Got to get her to do a DNA test. Get that done. If it's not yours, you're in the clear. It's pretty cut and dry. DNA tells the truth. Fiona W. from Limerick, Ireland said, I can't figure out why so many Americans feel like they can't survive unless your government is telling them what to do. Is this true or just my perception? I would say it's more perception than reality, Fiona. I mean, if your only access to American media is the left-wing media in Ireland, you can't help but form this opinion. I admit there is a struggle here between right and left. But the fact is the Democrats' approval rating is now at an all-time low, and the party continues to drift further towards communism and socialism. So it's put off a lot of moderate Democrats, and I think that's why Trump won in 2024. And at the end of the day, hardcore Americans know the 10 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. Thank you, Ronald Reagan. All right, if you have any questions, observations, or comments, send them to my producer, Fleabag, at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. The more outrageous and salacious, the better. That's how we like it.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, the game today is Total Recall. I gave you 4 historical events from the 90s, and you had to put them in the order they happened first to last. Let's review. Forrest Gump wins the Oscar for Best Film. The Green Bay Packers beat the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 31. Bill Clinton is impeached for lying to a grand jury regarding his affair with Monica Lewinsky. And O.J. Simpson is arrested for the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman. All right, if you said O.J. 94, Forrest Gump in 1995, the Green Bay Packers over New England in 1997, and Bill Clinton impeached in 1998.
Yeah, baby.
You are correctamundo. But if you missed it, go see a doctor and get your head trauma taken care of and get well soon. All right, I need to wrap this up. I am off to see the wizard about the old prostate today. Yeah, I call the doc a wizard because after what he does, I have no problems taking a whizzer. But I do have one more thing for you. Did you know bananas are considered to be the happy fruit? You have a banana, you're just happy all day. Eating one a day can help relieve irritable emotions, anger, and or depression.
Maybe you should have a banana before every podcast then.
Oh, look who decided to show up, and I can't wait to hear why.
You probably wouldn't sound so pissy.
Oh, God, Alexa, when in the hell do I ever sound pissy?
Try right now.
Well, maybe it's you that makes me sound pissy. Did you ever think about that?
It is my life's mission to piss you off as often as I can.
You're doing a good job of it. But you know, one day One day you're going to push me too far, and I'm going to pull the plug.
Yeah, and I'll shock you too. Do your shout-outs to Rat Nation Pissy Man.
Maybe you need to visit your jackhammer this weekend, or better yet, try a banana, Alexa. Welcome to Rat Nation to Chester Cole, Montgomery, Alabama, Jason Smith in Marietta, Ohio, and Jenny St. John of San Clemente, California. God, it's beautiful country there in California. To the Resistance, those of you who email us but haven't joined Rat Nation yet. Mike H. in Poughkeepsie, New York. Anthony C. in Landover, Maryland. Ramon M. from El Rancho, New Mexico. And around the world to listeners in Quebec, Canada, Paris, France, Leeds, England, and Cordoba, Spain.
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards, you know.
All right, that's it for this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Go check out ratsasspodcast.com and get the entire Rat's Ass Podcast experience. Experience it all. You can listen to podcasts, rock out to Rat's Ass Rock TV, read the blog that's loaded with all kinds of hot topicality, plus you can still join Rat Nation without having to qualify. We'll do this again on Monday, August 4th. Take care of each other, and thanks for stopping by the Rat's Ass Podcast. Do appreciate it. Now get out there and go have a tremendous weekend.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com.